Cardano's current total value locked should be at least $11 billion. And if you've heard this argument before or even know what I'm about to talk about, I want to tell you why the total value locked metric is not a good metric for Cardano. It makes Cardano look very, very, very bad as an ecosystem, when in reality, Cardano is one of the most undervalued and slept on ecosystems because of this metric. We're going to go into the details of what's happening on Cardano's total value locked right now. Really, what is total value locked, and how are these companies like DeFi Llama and other projects analyzing TVL? Because it's really, really hard to analyze in crypto. And even like something like Ethereum and Solana's total value locked are not even 100% correct. Doing the research on this video and understanding how these metrics are being tracked, it's not very easy to track across the whole crypto industry. Every blockchain has different ways that they do DeFi or do staking and UTXO and account space, and this is making total value locked one of the most strange to understand metrics in crypto, and yet we put so much weight into it. So based on what Cardano's total value locked did, I want to tell you why it should be much higher than it is today. And then a lot of people are going to comment, well, you can't say Cardano's total value locked should be 11 billion if you're not locking the stake. But I want to talk about why the stake is so important in Cardano and how this $11 billion ecosystem deserves more recognition. In crypto currently, total value locked means all of the value that is locked within an ecosystem, whether it's locked for a day or 100 days. So on some chains like ICP, you can lock for up to 8 years. On some chains like Solana and Ethereum, you can lock your stake and unlock it within a few days. There are DeFi apps and lending protocols on every chain that can lock in a collateralized debt position or a loan position or a liquidity position or a staking position. A lot of DEXs and lending protocols on every chain allow for you to do this. So total value locked is essentially all the value locked into an ecosystem. Now, when you hear this, you can probably see how total value locked is a little bit higher for something like ICP or Solana or Ethereum, where locking is a part of their staking mechanism. Cardano and other blockchains don't really have locked staking, and in my opinion, that's good. You shouldn't have to lock your stake for a long period of time. But when we're talking total value locked, we're talking everything in DeFi that involves locking. So it's staking, it's lending, it's liquidity, it's NFT staking, it's all these things. But we're also talking about on-chain staking to support the validation of blocks and transactions. So both of these things, in my opinion, should count towards TVL. When we look at some of the popular metrics of TVL for some of these chains, when you go on DeFi Llama, it says Cardano currently has a 250 to a 300 million total value locked, depending on what things you select and what things you count in there, right? So it's got about a 250 to 300 million total value locked. And when you look at that and you say, wow, that's a little bit lower than Ethereum's 65 billion total value locked, well, let me raise this up to you. Cardano's staking is not included. Cardano's staking is one of the most fundamental things that people are doing with their ADA, and this whole video, I want you to think about the question of, should Cardano's total value locked not be counted because its staking is never locked, when something like Solana and Ethereum can be locked for 2 days and then get unlocked, or 3 days and then get unlocked? Is the difference in 2 to 3 days between no time at all really that much faster of a liquidation to count some as TVL and some as non-TVL? Is TVL even a good metric to track? This is how TVL is being tracked today. Those that are locked are counted in TVL, and when bypassers to an ecosystem are simply looking at data, looking at metrics, looking at all these things on different metric apps and comparing charts to charts, they see Cardano as no TVL. Let's skip to the next one, right? Or new chains are passing its TVL in a day. TVL is not a good metric for Cardano. And if you're watching this video, I know I phrase it, Cardano TVL should be 11 billion, but it's good to not have TVL in Cardano's sense. It's good to not lock your stake, and staking on Cardano is one of the best staking in the crypto ecosystem because of that. So today on DeFi Llama, Cardano's rocking about a 250 to a 300 million total value lock, depending on what you kind of select in their parameters. This is the DeFi ecosystem on Cardano. The lending protocols, the CDPs, the liquidation positions, the loans, the staking on DEXs. That's what that is representative of. When we go to the Cardano ecosystem, we can see that staking is a much bigger factor than something like that, even though, it's not locked staking, it's just liquid staking. Ethereum has a much bigger ecosystem when you go to DeFi Llama, 65 billion total staked. And when I look at that, I posted about it on Twitter, I posted about it on a YouTube post, and people were saying, well, that's not even really right. If you count Ethereum staking, which is locked, so I figure it should be counted, it's up into like the $120 billion range. So maybe DeFi Llama's only tracking the DeFi staking on the ecosystems, staking involved in DeFi activities, and not staking for validators and consensus. I'm not 100% sure. It's a little unclear to me. I find this chart a little bit confusing because in my opinion, I say TVL is anything that's locked. So Ethereum staking should be included in the total value locked. So we're going to come to two conclusions from this video. The first one is Cardano's value in its ecosystem, not total value locked because we don't lock stake, but its value in the ecosystem is well over $11 billion, probably closer to $12 billion when you include DeFi, because of the amount of ADA staked. Currently 22 billion ADA is staked, and at the current price of about 50 cents, that gives you $11 billion in value in that Cardano ecosystem that is just sitting there, staking, ready to mobilize, ready to use DeFi, ready to trade, ready to buy things, ready for the bull run. We are just starting this bull run out. ADA price is not even close to an all-time high. The 22 billion ADA staked is sitting ready and waiting, giving Cardano an $11 billion value in its ecosystem today. It's not represented as TVL, but it's still there and people are still supporting the network with it. Now imagine when Cardano gets to $1 and now this value locked is worth $22 billion, or it gets to $2 and now it's worth like $40 billion, and it gets to $3 and $5 and etc. There's so much value in this Cardano ecosystem, and it's not very shocking to see how the market cap of Cardano can rapidly outpace the previous all-time high and the previous market cap based on this value locked in the ecosystem. Now that's the first thing I want you to know as an ADA holder. If you're thinking about investing in ADA or you're invested in ADA, you know, Charles Hoskinson has said this before. If TVL was counted on Cardano, we would have, you know, $12 billion currently in our total value lock just via staking, not even via DeFi. That's the first thing. The second thing I want you to consider is that when we look at blockchains, we shouldn't even really use TVL as a mechanism unless we also include staking market cap. Now, Coinbase has a really good metric on this. They have a really good chart, and it shows staking market cap by blockchains. And when you look at it this way, I think Cardano's like number 3, the third highest staking market cap in all of crypto. And imagine if that was translated into TVL, Cardano would be much higher on the TVL market cap list. So TVL is a tough metric. It's something very hard to put together when you have all these different blockchains doing all these different things. When there's over 20,000 cryptos out there, there's probably like 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 just layer ones doing different versions of layer ones. When you have something like that, there's no way DeFi Llama or the Block or Mercari or what is it called, Masari, the data analytic platforms in crypto, there's no way that they can make metrics that fit every single blockchain's needs. And also make it like profitable for themselves. Data companies are trying to make profit as well. So there's just, when you look at these metrics, I want to make this video to raise these questions to you and these points to you. Cardano's a sleeping giant. 22 billion ADA is staked at a current price of 50 cents in ADA. That's $11 billion sitting in the staking ecosystem. When Cardano rises in the bull market, I mean, just imagine what that money is going to do. Also, if you're looking at other projects or looking where to value Cardano in the ecosystem, look at staking market cap. Cardano is very high in the staking market cap of the overall crypto world. I think that's a better representation of what this blockchain is doing. But let me know in the comments, do you think total value locked is a good metric? Do you think it's a good metric for Cardano? If you're an ADA holder or possibly just watching this video as a non-ADA holder considering ADA, what do you think? Does this kind of show you how big Cardano is in the crypto community and how much value is in the ecosystem? Do you think Cardano could do a lot better at total value locked by getting more into DeFi? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. TVL is just a tough metric. All metrics in crypto are just tough metrics to analyze and understand when you have so many different projects, so many different pieces of data, so many different avenues of going about it. And like, what if a new decentralized exchange pops up or a new lending protocol pops up? If they're not updated into the blockchain explorer, or if, you know, Masari or DeFi Llama don't count them in their protocols, the numbers are not going to be right. So always something to consider. I think it's a very good thing to note how much value is in the Cardano ecosystem if you're looking to invest or looking to see what the future has for Cardano in this bull market. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one.